I think right now it's pretty clear that Dragon Ball Super Superheroes manga arc is going to end by the end of next month. It's finally over. This arc that has been completely milked and completely stretched out for such a long time is finally getting its ending. And then what? That's kind of the question. Like, after I made the video talking about the Beast Gohan transformation in the manga, I was left with the question, what comes next? And I said something in that video that I wanted to jump on here and kind of get your thoughts on. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this. But what would you think if they dropped Dragon Ball Daima as the next manga arc? Like, giving us the manga version, and then in the fall we get the anime version. How pissed off would you be, or would you be for it? So first, I'm going to tell you guys what exactly I mean by this, because I came up with the idea back in that video, but then I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on it, and then after that, how the best way of doing this could possibly be. Because if we've seen these arcs like the Moro arc, the Granola arc, and now this arc, they'd last for about 6 months plus. Like, they last for a while. So the next 2 arcs for next year leading into Dragon Ball Daima, it could be a game changer for the Dragon Ball Super story. But there is a possibility that they want us to read the manga for Dragon Ball Daima first, and then they give us the anime, which now I can tell you why that would be a terrible idea. Because it would do the reverse of what just happened with Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Because with Dragon Ball Super Superhero, when we go to the movie theaters to go see that movie, we have no idea what the movie's about besides what we've seen in the leaks and in the trailers. We have no idea, and so we're watching it fresh. We're watching it fresh. We want to see what the hell the movie is about, and we have to get an idea from it, from the movie itself. And then afterward, we're left with a sense of accomplishment because we just watched the movie, we know everything. And then when we lead into the manga arc, yeah, we're getting the manga arc, we have no choice, but we get little new tidbits here and there. It's almost like adding little layers of lore hidden, especially the prequel arc, but it still sucks. These last few months, the Dragon Ball Super manga has gotten the lowest numbers in viewership that it has ever gotten. And that's not a coincidence, because it is the Dragon Ball Super Superhero arc and you've already seen it. Even though Shueisha needs the manga to sell, they need to sell those books. They aren't beholden to it because they have other stories that they can sell. They have other things that they can sell on Shonen Jump. And even though they want the Dragon Ball Super manga to do good, you know, they really aren't banking on it. And that's kind of how I feel. But Dragon Ball Super Superheroes movie, the reason you saw such crazy numbers for that is because it was brand new, and that one needed to succeed, and it absolutely did, so we get more animated Dragon Ball content. This, if we did Dragon Ball Daima as a manga and then an anime, would have the opposite effect. It would give us the entire story of Dragon Ball Daima, every single part of it, the arc and everything like that, and it would give it to us before the movie came out. So we know everything going in, and we don't really have a clue if Dragon Ball Daima is going to be different. It could be the same thing. And the viewership for Dragon Ball Daima needs to be high for us to be able to get more Dragon Ball content and the story to be really hype. It would kill all hype for the story if we got the manga first. If that's the first thing that we got, it would absolutely suck. And honestly, I'm going to throw this out there. If we get new arcs, we see Daima, and then after Daima, sometime in the future, the Dragon Ball Super manga decides to do Daima as a manga, I mean, I would still read it. I would still kind of enjoy it, but it would still have the same effect that the superhero had with the manga. It just would not be the level of hype that you need. But let me tell you how this could be done great to lead us into the hype for Dragon Ball Daima. So the biggest change in Dragon Ball Daima is that the main characters in the OG squad are children. Who turns them to the children? Somebody from the demon realm. So that's where you should go for the next couple of arcs. Give us the demon realm, flesh it out, give us demon realm characters, let's go into stories about the demon realm, hyping up the guy that comes in for Dragon Ball Daima. That could be the entirety of 2024 leading up to the fall, where we finally get Dragon Ball Daima and we're able to watch it and enjoy it. That could be such a huge year of hype for this movie, and I'm telling you right now, that would be such a great way to promote Dragon Ball Daima's anime series, where everyone's gonna want to watch it because they're reading the manga. The hype for the manga could be an all-time high, explaining the demons, explaining a little bit more about the Supreme Kai, Hell, if you had the next couple arcs just explaining more things about like the otherworldly realms, like the angel world and the Supreme Kai world, and just when I'm talking about worlds, I mean like their laws and how you become an angel and things like that, like how do you become a god of destruction, all that stuff. If you start fleshing that stuff out, it could lead us into a nice base where Dragon Ball Daima is, where we are getting like this demon that seemingly has a Supreme Kai or some sort of angel attendant with them, and we can kind of have more hype for the anime as opposed to, you know, having just random arcs before Dragon Ball Daima comes out that doesn't actually promote the show at all. This is how you hype up the show. This is how you get record viewership for that show that would break Crunchyroll and break whatever other website is streaming it. You have to get that level of hype, and then you go into Dragon Ball Daima. And I'm actually kind of curious to see what kind of arc is airing during the Dragon Ball Daima run. Is it going to be something like connected to Dragon Ball Daima or something different? Are we going to exceed the Dragon Ball Daima timeline, or are we still going to be before it? It is going to be very interesting, but again, the only way that this should be 100% made, and I'm telling you guys sincerely, the only way that it should be made is by having it be a story or an arc that promotes the Dragon Ball Daima anime, but not just like shilling for it, like just giving us, you know, that out-of-pocket promotion. Like, it's not like it has its own story. It needs to set up beats and plot points and just lore, drop little nuggets of lore for us that give us an exciting, you know, rush to go watch Dragon Ball Daima. But if they ever do Dragon Ball Daima as a manga before Dragon Ball Daima's anime, no one's gonna watch the anime. People might watch the anime, but it'll kill it. It'll kill the story, it'll kill the hype. That's how you kill the hype. But the reason I'm so worried is because they made Dragon Ball Super Superheroes manga after the movie, and again, in that way, it still kind of makes more sense, but it still sucked. And it's been like such a huge dry season for Dragon Ball the last year or so, and it's just been terrible. It's been boring, and nothing exciting really has happened because nobody cares about a story they've already seen. And that's something that Dragon Ball does, and nobody else does that. Nobody else recreates these stories, even though we've already seen them. Like, I don't understand why they keep doing that. It feels like somebody at the top is just fighting for time and pushing time. And I understand, like, Dragon Ball Daima is very close to the end of Z time, and so we're trying to like fill up as much as we can up until that point. But still, there should be like limits to this stuff, and they need to add limits. But I thought of that horrifying thought when I was making my last video about if them making the Dragon Ball Daima into a manga, which would completely suck. And I'm hoping they don't do that. You never know with Toei and Shueisha, but I have a feeling, I have hope that they end up, you know, making it so we get something hype that leads us into Dragon Ball Daima. That's the silver lining in all this. And I'm really excited to see what the next arc is going to be, because they can only milk Dragon Ball Super Superhero for so long. There's an end date for that, 110%. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.
Subscribe for more content.